Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 5, episode 11, titled Something Wild, air date January 16th, 2002, and the synopsis is
Joey and Audrey go to a nightclub. Charlie is also there and hits on Joey, who turns him down for what he did to Jen. Meanwhile, Pacey sees himself hanging out with Audrey after he joins her and Joey at the club to celebrate his new promotion. Also, Dawson and Jen go back to Capeside to visit his mother, where they have their first fight over what Dawson will do with his life. So I guess it's a winter break or a spring break. I really can't tell.
winter.
Okay. I just thought maybe there'd be snow on the ground or something, but it looks like it's really warm there. So,
Well, Pacey's got a coat though, so
oh, okay. Yeah, so Pacey's not Pacey, Jess, nope. Joey, that's her name,
Bess.
is well, I was gonna say Joey's at home watching TV.
Oh, then Bess walks in.
Yeah. And asked her about her grades. I thought she because at first she's supposed to get them in the mail and then she sees them later
hmm
um at school. So I don't know why they kind of said both.
I
If
think because
she's
she
gonna,
couldn't wait.
oh, okay.
I think because she was desperate.
Okay. Yeah, so Bess asks about Dawson and Joey just wants to enjoy her vacation and Bess tells her to do something fun, to do something wild, and um Bess says that letting your hair air dry doesn't count. And then
And
so Joey,
but Joey is not the partying and wild type.
mm-hmm,
I mean, what has she done in college besides study and that's it? I mean, she
right.
doesn't do anything, so it's not like she is not Audrey's that person that would do something wild,
Yeah.
but not Joey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Joey jokes that she'll run with the scissors later. And then that's when Pacey comes in.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I just wondered if you wanted to go back." And she was like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Tell Alexander I said bye."
Yeah.
Like, where is Alexander?
I don't know.
And then of course she grabs him all cute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know it's
And
their
then
thing.
yeah. And then we go to uh Jen and Dawson and they're on their way back to Capeside because Dawson's bringing Jen home.
This was so annoying.
Why?
Well, first of all, they've dated before. And secondly, they know each other. They're like it's not like they're strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Like their families know each other, their friends know each other. Like they're I can't.
I guess it's just them officially going back to Capeside as a couple like this.
Yeah, but they were already a couple.
Yeah, I know. It's just like a milestone that neither one of them had ever did before in a relationship. So it's
Okay.
kind of a big deal.
What is up with Gail?
Being standoffish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that episode that Joey felt like she was being replaced by Jen?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how close Gail and Jen were?
Yeah.
And it's like, and they've lived next to each other, and then
Jen even lived with them.
she's acting like Jen is just this random strange girl, and she's not. She's known Jen for since she was 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
So it just bothered me that Gail is treating Jen like that because, I always just thought that she was like another daughter.
Yeah, I guess maybe just because it's moved so quickly after Mitch died, I guess.
But now that I'm thinking, she kind of treated Joey like that when Joey and Dawson started dating.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I also remember saying the same thing as you've known Joey her whole life, and you're gonna
Yeah.
treat her like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, so I think I think she just treats everyone like that if you're dating Dawson.
Yeah, especially
But
Gretchen.
she, but she shouldn't because Dawson is picking people that he's known.
Mm-hmm.
They're not strangers. I mean, heck, I feel bad for the one that Gail doesn't know.
I mean, Eve.
No, I mean, like in the future, if he
Oh,
dates someone that no one's ever met before, I feel bad for her going up against Gail.
mm-hmm.
Like if Gail treats Joey and Jen like this, how do you think she's gonna treat someone that she doesn't know?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And then we go to Joey and Pacey in the car together, going back to Capeside. I mean,
They're
not
so
Capeside, Boston.
they're so cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joey talks about
Why is
why
she still
Dawson.
talking about why is she still talking about Dawson?
I guess she's processing it now, being at the next. Actually, probably been some days now, at least.
I felt bad for Pacey. Like that's a long car ride with her yapping about Dawson.
Mm-hmm. And Jen.
hmm It's like get over it. They're together. Remember
Mm-hmm.
when she kind of wanted Dawson to just get over her and Pacey together?
Yeah.
And now look, she can't stop herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even Pacey tells Joey that she has to get past this, and Joey says she is. She really
Mm,
thinks about them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so Pacey's like, and they just happen to be on your mind right now. And Joey says, no, actually, I was wondering whether or not this is your car. So the next,
Yeah.
Pacey explains that it is, and he doesn't want to tell her where he got the car,
By the
but
way, he has a nice car.
yeah, he does. But he does bring up the open waitress scene position at the restaurant that he works at. But Joey doesn't want to work at a, food service again,
Well,
especially after,
she brings up Mrs. Valentine.
yeah, exactly. Like the recommendation she'd get from her anyhow wouldn't be good, probably. And
I'm gonna be honest, Joey has not had a good thing with any boss.
right. Yeah, Miss Valentine, what's his name? I forgot what his name
Rob,
was. Oh yeah. And then before that was really her sister.
right? And even her sister fired her. So
Hmm. Yeah, so Pacey asks about Joey's grades and she says she hasn't gotten them yet and she's not worried because she's carefree about them. She did her best and there's nothing else she can do, so she's moving on. So I guess she's not thinking about her grades or Dawson and Jen, apparently.
yeah, lie, lie, lie.
Hmm. Then Jen and Dawson finally get to Capeside and like we said, Gail doesn't say much when Dawson told her about him and Jen. Dawson says it can't be worse than the dinner from hell, and Jen is
Yes,
worried
I
it,
can. Because it's just Gail.
yeah, Jen is worried Gail would know why they're late because they were having sex, and
Well,
they're
yeah,
awkward,
but then Gail says to Dawson, your shirt's on backwards.
yeah, and then they awkwardly say like, let's go eat, like, oh, I'm starving and everything like that. So try to move the conversation on, and then Pacey walks with Joey to her room to find Audrey there after thinking Joey would have the place to herself for the remainder
Yeah,
of the
Joey's
break.
like, I can't wait to have the room to myself for a few days. And then there's Audrey.
Hmm. Yeah, so Audrey apparently had a fight with her parents about money. So then Audrey also lost her job as a tour guide for the campus because a woman complained that Audrey was staying on her son who was still in high school. And she didn't know
I
that, of
could
course.
I could see that. She flirts with everything that moves.
Yeah. And she said she didn't know, but aren't most people who go to the tours anyhow probably high schoolers looking for future colleges?
hmm Yeah.
So,
That's why you do the tour so that you pick which one is best for you.
hmm,
I mean,
yeah.
the group did that.
Hmm.
They went, didn't they go to Boston? Or no? Where
I
did
don't
they
know.
go?
That
They
was
never,
Columbus or
yeah,
something.
they never really said. But
Hmm.
they did their own little tour.
Yeah.
That's when AJ came along.
Hmm. And then, yeah, so Audrey says she needs a job. And that's when Joey and Pacey look at each other because they know exactly what jobs are available for her. So then Pacey does bring her to the restaurant and thinks she's perfect for the waitress job. And then she says she's basically going to have dinner with lots of fun new people every night. And
And
Pacey says the
Pacey's
job
like,
is,
no, you need
yeah,
to serve them.
yeah, not date them. And then she's thrilled about the menu. And Audrey asks Pacey if talking about how good the food is works with the ladies. He says it does, and Audrey says, "Imagine how good it would be, how good it would do if he trimmed his nails." And then Danny walks in and right away asks if Audrey's Pacey's girlfriend. He
Then they
says no
both
right away.
know.
Yeah.
They both know.
hmm And then Danny gives her the job right after she says that she loves what he's done with the place. As if,
I think he just likes looking at her.
yeah, that too. And even Pacey is shocked by how quick that was. And Danny says that anyone that can
Well,
put,
he's got a thing for his waitresses.
true. Danny,
Karen.
yeah. Danny says anyone who can put Pacey in his place is the woman he wants working for him. And Audrey says she loves Danny for that, for giving her the job. And then Gail brings in food and drinks for Jen and Dawson. Gail asks about Jen's major. She says she's not sure right now. She's just taking it day by day. Jen
Jen doesn't
asks
even
about,
go to college.
I know. Jen asks about Lily, and Gail says she took her very first steps the other day. And Dawson mentions that Gail hasn't put the baby gate up yet.
Oh, I know. I was like, Dawson just
Mm-hmm.
told his mom to put the baby gate up. Whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm
And,
sorry, but it's not like Lily's running around. If she took her
mm-hmm.
first steps, she's not running around.
Right.
You know what I
And Jen,
mean? Like she's Gail's with her all the time.
mm-hmm. And then Jen asks about the new neighbors at her old house, and Gail says that they're just using it for a summer place, so it's closed up for the rest of the year. And then the phone rings. Gail answers, and it's about the leak at the restaurant. So now we finally hear about the
Oh,
restaurant.
yeah, and apparently Dawson is really concerned, and so he's going over there right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then that means Gail and Jen are going to be alone. So then again, Gail asks Jen, um, how are things between them, um, since they started dating, and we don't really see much, because then we go back to Joey, who checks on her grades, and she sees all A's, including Wilder's writing class, but
Okay.
only after he shows up with the paper.
Okay. Yeah. Then she gives him this big hug and she won't let go. And
Mm-hmm.
it was way too long of a hug for a professor and his student.
Yeah, definitely.
And she didn't you see her? She was all smiling too and stuff. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then didn't he say like something about my favorite student or whatever?
I don't know. He just, I put that he's told her that she deserves the A.
Yeah,
And
putting up
then,
with him.
I guess, yeah. And then at the club, Audrey and Joey are there. And of course, Audrey has to know all about the hug between Joey and Wilder.
See, even she said it was too long.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she thinks something's up.
Yeah. And then Joey streams along and jokes that they had sex in Beerser's office, whoever that is. It was wild, passionate, hot, animalistic sex. And Audrey believes it for a moment, then realizes Joey's lying and so she hates her.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
are the grades usually posted on the wall like that?
No. Oh, well, back then, yeah, but not for me because obviously I went to college like a decade later. That was all by email. So, so yeah,
Um,
back then.
oh, by the way, Gail, when she saw Dawson and Jen, it was
hmm
funny though, because she goes, "So you two are dating now?"
Yeah.
Like how she said it though. I was like, "Oh my God, that's when I knew it was gonna be bad."
hmm
Oh yeah. So now we're at the club.
Yeah. Like I said, Joey and Audrey are talking about Wilder and Audrey, Joey says the hug was no big deal and Audrey makes Joey
No
swear.
big deal. She was smiling.
Yeah. So she makes Joey swear that there was no kissing either. And Audrey says the fact that Joey can hug Wilder means that there's hope for her yet. So she's like encouraging this kind of relationship with her professor, which is
Yeah,
not good.
gross.
It makes me wonder if Audrey ever had a relationship with one of her professors.
Or teachers in high school.
Yeah.
I'm sure she did because remember she said, "Oh, Professor Wilder's so cute. Like, I
hmm
want to, is it too late for me to be in the class?" Like, she wanted to be with them. Like, so it's like, ew. So I'm sure she's done it before because it doesn't seem like it's new to her,
hmm Yeah.
like it is to Joey. This whole thing is new to Joey.
hmm Yeah. So Audrey says they're going to kiss boys tonight, and Audrey stops a guy from passing them and asks him to kiss Joey.
That's just
Yeah. And then Joey gets out of it by saying that she can't kiss anybody until her tongue heals from a really bad piercing. So
well,
then
she just
Audrey
said she just said from or she just said till her tongue
is completely healed. Yeah.
is yeah, and then Audrey comes up with
Yeah.
the
Piercing.
piercing and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. And then back at the restaurant, Danny asks to speak with Pacey. It's not about Audrey. And Danny likes her, but Danny wants to talk about Pacey, and he's actually given him a promotion with a 20% increase for his salary,
I was like, that's
which
a lot of
is,
hundreds.
yeah, yeah, a lot. Big difference. I feel like he could be co-owner by the next year of the restaurant.
And he just started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now he's Chef Witter. And then back at the club, Audrey asks Charlie, nope, Audrey calls Charlie a kissable guy when they see him on the stage. And then Joey
Well, yeah, because
recognizes him.
well, they both though were like, "Oh, he's cute," and
Mm-hmm.
then Joey's like, "Wait a minute, I know him."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to quote Joey, she said that Charlie is the guy who dicked over Jen because he can't say the F word on CW or not CW, WB at the time. And then yeah, so Audrey says that Jen has good taste in men, or she met musicians. And then Audrey has said that she sang with the band once. I wonder if that was the beginning of the year at the party or a different party maybe.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah. And she walks off to talk to them, see if they remember her. And that's when Charlie spots Joey in the crowd. So of course that's gonna be a thing. Because once he sets his sights on a girl, he doesn't give
But
up.
Pacey shows up at some point.
Yeah, he does after Charlie sees Joey. Yeah, and he scares Joey because he creeps up behind her. So Joey apparently sent him a message about her grades and inviting him out to the club with them. And then Pacey tells Joey that he got promoted at work. So then Pacey spots Audrey on stage then and asks how she got through high school without, like, how they got through high school without her. She's, taking all the risks and having fun.
But Pacey said, "This is where all the smart, pretty girls go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's like, oh my God. Which Audrey, I don't think she's getting good grades.
right.
Well, and then Pacey was like, "Oh, 4.0. You'll do better next time."
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
Yeah. And then Jen helps Gail with the baby gates back at Capeside. And then, Jen and Gail talk about, Dawson moving forward with his life and maybe going to school in Boston there for a film. And because apparently Dawson doesn't talk to school with Gail at all. So Gail's
No,
happy that,
I think all Dawson does is try to take care of like Lily in the house in the restaurant, and that's it. Let me think
yeah.
about it. He's not even spending any time. Well, they're supposed to be there for what, the weekend, and he's not spending any
Mm-hmm.
time with his mom. He's spending time at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Jen says that she just wants him to be happy, and they both agree on that. And then, Jen brings up about Dawson moving to Graham's attic, and says that he shouldn't be able to do that. He should be able to have his own place, go back to school and all that, so he can start his life and not be stuck there in Cape Side. And Gail tells Jen that she has to really tell him and how he inherited a stubborn streak a mile long from his father. So Jen has to push him to bring up school because he still hasn't really looked into it or anything. Wasn't he supposed to visit too, but he never did. Like check it out
I think so.
from Oliver. Yeah. And
Well,
then I got,
he's done nothing so far.
mm-hmm. And then back at the club, a guy sits next to Joey. Audrey sent him. His name is Tom, and he says that they don't have to kiss, they can do other things. And Joey turns him down, as she should. And then Charlie turns up again in the audio, the floor space, and gives her a drink, says that that's what offers to buy her a drink. Joey thinks it's Tom, so she turns around and then sees it's him. So just another guy she doesn't want to be talking to. Charlie tries to flirt with her and hit on her and all that, and Joey knows better. And she baits him with saying how out of all the girls in the club, how is she the blessed one? And she asks why. He says it's the way that she tucked her hair behind her ear.
Yeah, but he
And
also said that, because she said, "Oh, does this work on everyone?" And he said, "Oh, I've never done this before." And then she brings up Jen Lindley.
right, yeah. after he said that her tugging behind her hair behind her ear made it look like she was just really trying to listen to the music. And then now that he knows that he's caught, he tries to, say that, um, you know, he's embarrassed and it's humiliating, but can't blame a guy for trying. And Joey says, yeah, but you don't have to have a drink with him, and walks away. And I thought that would be the end of that, but nope, because like I said, he just doesn't give up.
Yeah, last episode you wanted Charlie to go away for good.
Yeah, well, I just didn't see the point of him showing up at the house.
Yeah, well now he's just picking on a new girl.
Yeah, at least here it makes more sense than it did before. And then back at Capeside, we keep going back and forth, back and forth. Dawson finds Jen and asks if she wants to have makeup sex, but she says she's too tired. That he seems too tired.
Jack wasn't in this episode, was he?
No, nope, probably with the frat guys. And then um, Jen talks about speaking with Gail and how they talked about him moving to Boston. Dawson says now is not the right time. Jen says it is, and his mom feels the same way. Dawson doesn't like how her and his mom are talking about his life, and Jen tells him he's not required to be the husband, and that makes Dawson mad because he says that she has no right to talk about parents when she doesn't even talk to hers, her mom or her dad, and that makes
That
her
was me.
upset.
That was mean.
Yeah, that was a low blow. Yeah,
Because she would have a relationship, but her parents don't want one.
yeah,
And I mean, she tried. Remember her dad? She was all
mm-hmm,
excited to see her dad, and then he just blew her off.
yeah,
And so did her mom. So it's like she would
mm-hmm,
have one if she had your parents,
yeah,
but she got the bad end of the deal.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dawson wants to talk about something else, but Jen, of course, doesn't want to talk to him, so she walks away. And then we go back, and Audrey and Pacey are playing pool, and there's a large crowd around them admiring Audrey because she wins and everyone claps for her. And then Joey shows up. Pacey asks if Joey wants to go against her, and Joey says no, she'll let Pacey enjoy the enjoy the humiliation. And then Pacey asks how soon after leaving her room did she check her grades, and Joey admits she's an obsessive freak about them. And she says, no, Pacey says that there's a part of her that knows that how to let loose, and she just needs to let her loose once in a while. The other Joey, the
Yeah,
carefree girl
I love that he brought up her singing at the
pageant,
pageant that what were the other things? Oh, going sailing with him.
hmm and playing
Yeah.
strip poker and drinking. Well, I don't agree about the drinking part, but everything else, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, it's like he remembers everything.
hmm
But I was happy that they brought it up because again, they're acting like they've only been friends and not dated. So it's
hmm
nice to see that he remembers some things
Yeah.
because they did have a past.
hmm And I thought it was funny how Audrey tells Pacey and Joey she likes how the pool chalk matches her eyeshadow. That was funny. And then Pacey gives Joey money for drinks, and she says she's gonna keep an eye out for the other Joey. And then this is when Charlie comes back,
He
holding a
just hands her
cups.
the drink.
Yeah, like saying that this is a drink she's gonna have, which is just the most red flag ever. Even
I
if she
know.
doesn't,
What did he put in it?
yeah, even if she knows the guy. And then, so Joey still isn't buying what he's selling, and Charlie said that he wants a second chance with Joey, not Jen. And Joey says that she didn't even think he had a first. And then Charlie's like, I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was hit on you, and blah blah blah, and only guilty for being attracted to her. And he tells Joey that she's drop dead gorgeous, and he says at least he's not afraid to take a chance. And he asks Joey when was the last time she took one. She says it's none of his business. So she asks if they teach classes in Uptight at Worthington. Joey says she's not uptight. Charlie once again asks the last time Joey did something wild, and Joey walks away. So I'm guessing that means she's going to do something wild. And then basically on the pier, we just have a talk between Gail and Dawson about how he needs to let go of, them at Capeside and go and move to Boston to be with Jen and, go back to school and just start his life that he was kind of starting to live before Mitch passed away, but now a little bit differently, at least with his friends in Boston. And that her and Lily are set. And
Well,
then,
I mean, he is only the son. He does need to live his life
mm-hmm,
at
yeah,
some point.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and that seeing him with Jen and realizing how much she wants him in Boston made it clear to her, and that she'll hire help if she needs it.
which I do think she needs help.
Mm-hmm.
At least
Yeah,
with the
especially with the,
restaurant. Like
yeah, yeah.
if she's gonna spend a lot of time at home with Lily, which she needs to, then she needs to definitely hire some kind of manager that knows what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Yeah. And then, wait, isn't, Bodhi supposed to be co-manager or something like that, I
He
think?
is, but we never see him.
Yeah. So she's supposed to at least have help from him, but we don't know about that now. Yeah, so Gail tells Dawson to tell Jen how he really feels about her, and that if it doesn't work, just grovel. That's what Mitch used to do. And then back at the pool game, Audrey and Pacey go to play another round when they go look for Joey because she never returned with the drinks.
It was cute because Pacey's like, I'm gonna go find Joey, and then she was like, No, I'm going too. But I
Mm-hmm.
was like, Oh, Pacey is worried about Joey.
Yeah. And then while looking, Audrey mentions about the kissing pact they made. And that's when they hear Joey singing I Want You to Want Me, originally by Cheap Trick. But I actually know the KSM version the most that was made for the network at the time, ABC Family Show, 10 Things I Hate About You. Did you know about that show?
Who was in it?
Um, Basically a bunch of people our age that were on Disney Channel. Um, did you watch Camp Rock?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we didn't really talk about Disney back then, so I don't know. Um, I don't remember her name, Megan something that played Tess Tyler, the mean
Oh,
girl. She
Megan
was in that.
Martin.
Yeah, and then the one girl from Nickelodeon's Ned School Survival. I can't remember her name. Like she was the other sister. They were sisters, and um I didn't really know anybody besides them and one guy from Hannah Montana. Um, and I didn't watch the movie yet, so I didn't know how the show was gonna go. Um, but the dad from the movie 10 Things I Hate About You played the dad again, and this time in this show with the girls. And it was basically the same concept. But yeah, so that was a theme song, was I Want You to Want Me, that version. So Joey's seeing that on stage, and then Audrey and Pacey see her, and Audrey's freaking out, saying that can't be the same girl who sleeps in my room. And then
Hmm.
afterward, backstage, Charlie follows Joey, saying that was amazing. He had no idea she had it in her. And then she says he probably didn't know she had
Hey,
this in her either. Yeah. And then after that, Joey says that to
okay, by the
Charlie.
way,
Yeah.
by the way, when she's singing,
Mm-hmm.
like I know that one song that she sang at the pageant wasn't good, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say that this song fit her.
Yeah, it was better, yeah.
I
Because
was
it wasn't
enjoying it.
Broadway.
I was like, keep going because it was actually good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was more in her vocal range because it was a
Yeah,
pop song.
I liked it. I was like dancing to it when she was singing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so she ends up kissing Charlie, saying that probably didn't see know that he probably didn't know that was in her either. And of course he's
I
shocked
mean,
and
she
everything.
just went fully into it. I was like, whoa, Joey.
Mm-hmm. And then afterwards she tells him to never call her uptight and then goes back on stage for a standing ovation. And then back at Gail's, Dawson goes into his room to find Jen and tells her she's so beautiful. And this makes Jen say that his apology is accepted and she doesn't need a speech or graveling. Dawson says he'll have to remember that for the future. And Dawson says that it is time that he moved to the attic. This makes Jen very happy and say that they can decorate. And Jen says that things are so real with how they worked out.
Um, so Pacey takes Audrey home, right?
Hmm.
Because Audrey sees Joey with Charlie, so she was like, "Oh, she said she was going home, so Pacey just took Audrey." And then Pacey says that his dad gave him the car.
Yeah, which is
I was
surprising.
like, "What?"
Hmm.
I mean, his dad hated him, but then he said that his dad said that he was proud of him, and I was like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Man, Mr. Witter something is on something because he's never nice to Pacey."
Hmm. Yeah, and that was after Audrey told him about her really having a big fight with her parents. And they basically tell each other this as secrets and to not tell Joey. Audrey told Pacey not to tell her.
where did Dawson and Jen sleep?
I don't know.
Where was the fireplace? Was that still at Dawson's mom's house?
Yeah, it had to be. We didn't see them drive again.
I'm like, you literally did it in her house.
Mm-hmm.
In the living room?
Yeah, but
I
did
was
you
like,
think that?
where's baby Lily and where's your
Mm-hmm.
mother?
Right. But did you think that Audrey told that story to Pacey about Joey needing to go back home to study to protect him from seeing her with Charlie?
No, I think she wanted Pacey.
Oh, I thought she was protecting Pacey.
No, I think she wanted. Remember this season, they're just friends. But no, I think she wanted Pacey.
Well, it seemed like she was trying to do that purposely so he wouldn't turn around and see. And then she dragged him away in the opposite direction. So that's what I was thinking.
Mm.
Yeah, and then Audrey does kiss Pacey on the cheek because of the pact and says that if Joey isn't going to do it, she should do it. But little does she know that Joey definitely did make the pact. And then Charlie is following Joey on his bike while she's walking the sidewalk and still trying to convince her to go out on a ride with him somewhere. But she says that you know, the kiss meant nothing. It was just the other Joey letting loose, and if he tells anyone, she'll deny that she knows her. And then he calls her the smart girl from Worthington when they say bye. And they say goodnight, takes off on his bike, and Joey walks away with a smirk on her face. Like she enjoyed that. And then yeah, so that was it in this scene there.
Hmm. Yeah, not much that happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was very boring.
Oh, that was a little bit more fun with the club at least.
That was the only thing. Barely. So for me, the high was Joey singing. I really didn't care about anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the rest was, I'm gonna be honest, it was back in Capeside with Dawson, Jen, and Gail. It was boring.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your high and low?
Yeah, same thing with me. I like seeing Joey have fun for once since she's been in college, and then the low would be back in Capeside, but it was just kind of trying to have some closure with Dawson and Capeside, but they didn't really do it. It like dragged on too long. So yeah. And then rating,
4. It was boring.
I gave it like a 5.5. And
Um,
then
your best
best,
and worst?
yeah. Um I put my best as Jen, probably just because she was trying to help Dawson move on with his life and go back to school and move to Boston and not just stay in Cape Side forever. And then the worst is just Charlie because he was just pushing Joey, and even though she did eventually kiss him, but still he was just pushing on, hitting her until he got caught, knowing Joey knowing what he did to Jen, and I think that he will come back because now I feel like there could be something with him and Joey now, even though Joey definitely knows what he did to Jen, but Jen doesn't know anything about what happened tonight, obviously. So I'm thinking that might cause some drama between her and Joey in the future. Maybe. Am I right?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so for me, the best was Pacey
Mm-hmm.
because he pushed Joey out of her shell like Pacey normally does. He's the one
Mm-hmm.
person that can get her to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and try something new. So she did that. And then the worst was
Mm-hmm.
Gail, how she was treating Jen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Charlie did help Joey too a little bit because she wasn't gonna do anything until he told her to. Like, have you ever done something risky?
Plus, she went on there and kissed him. I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. I would have been really shocked though if she did go on his bike with him. That would have been something.
Maybe next time
Mm-hmm.
they can ride off into the sunset. Just kidding.
Yeah. So then episode 12 is sleeping arrangements. So I guess Dawson moving in officially with Jen, I'm guessing.
Ugh.
How that's gonna go.
More boringness. I'm sorry,
It might be interesting.
season five is not going so well.
Mm-hmm.
But I
But
also knew that it wouldn't.
yeah. But then this is gonna be technically the second time they're living together too, because Jen lived at Mitch and Gail's for a little bit when things were bad with
Hmm.
her grandma. So
Yep.
I really don't see how they could have much of a difference from there and then. I don't know, but especially since Dawson's in the attic, it's not like they're in the same room either. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how boring it is.
Hmm. Yep.
With my second least favorite couple.
Hmm.
The first being Dawson and Joey.
Yeah, I know that.
Then they're not they're right with them though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast and give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.